Honestly, what's up with my... Yes, Mark. I swear I don't know what my computer's well playing up today. Not letting my script picture come up or anything on the screen. Look, you know, right, I've got to sort this out. Just me afro wig, that, guys, and obviously my bike's underneath it. I'm in front room at the moment. I normally stream front bedroom where my green screen is, but not today. So, no, it wasn't that, John. I couldn't get my video on or anything. Something up with me, something up with it. But anyway, Lucy Letby, guys, Lucy Letby, who's killed all them girls. Now, don't know if you've seen it. There's a history debunked video. I'm going to get it up. It goes on about this case. And it goes on about the case. And if you know History Debunked, he's big on crime and he's written crime books. This is the first case in British history where they've not named any of the kids that she's supposed to have killed. And I'm not doubting it from him because he writes books about crime and it's certain for a certain organization. So why would he lie? So we're not known. And she was convicted on circumstantial evidence. There was no witnesses to say that she killed someone. There was no CCTV. They hadn't got any physical evidence, just circumstantial evidence. But whether or not, right, about that, my biggest issue with this is the NHS. And it's already coming out now that people said that they'd warned before. Some Indian guy warned and he's been sacked or so. Forget that, right? But the NHS were unaccountable. And what's coming out now is that they didn't want to damage the record of the hospital. That's what you hear about schools. That's what I'm hearing about schools now. That the schools don't come out with things because they don't want to damage the Ofsted report or anything like that. Now, there's the people in charge was Tony Chambers. He resigned 2018. He let her return to work after she was initially suspended for something. Ian Harvey retired 2018, 100 odd grand, 1 point something million bonus. Alison Kelly suspended, and that's to do with, let's just get her up. Nursing boss suspended following trial. A senior manager who was in charge of nursing at the Countess of Chester Hospital when Lucy Letby carried out her attacks on babies is suspended from her current role. It comes after bosses were accused of ignoring concerns raised about Letby by her colleagues. Alison Kelly is now nursing director at Northern Care Allowance NHS Trust in Salford, Has a lot to do with Oldham, that as well. And there's no other comments at this time. So then there's Karen Moore, resigned 2018. And there is one more, Stephen Cross, but I don't know whether he resigned or anything. Doctors were forced to apologise for raising the alarm over Lucy Letby and baby deaths. Let me just get where it says about Stephen. He was the hospital's director of legal services and head of corporate affairs. He has been accused Cross had said contacting the police would be terrible for the hospital and that it would turn the neonatal unit into a crime scene. You know, the NHS are unaccountable. The NHS are absolutely unaccountable. And because it's national, these people have no incentive. They've only incentive for themselves and not incentive to do a good job. You know, I used to be all for national health. I don't want it now. I want it privatised. I really do. I've never heard such stories coming out of Bupa. Perhaps I've never heard such horror stories coming out of Bupa. Because you don't, when hospitals have to make money, they've got to do the right job. They can't have people in who do half a job. They've got to have the right kind of people in. And I just don't want it nationalised no more after this. And, you know, there's let's go through all the chiefs who were in charge. Tony Chambers. Chambers was the chief executive of Countess of Chester NHS Foundation Trust at the time of Letby's killing spree in the year to June 2016. He has said he was first told of serious concerns about the nurse in the late June 2016 after she murdered her final victims, two triplet boys within 24 hours of each other. Chambers said he took prompt action upon learning of these concerns, moving Letby off the neonatal unit, even though he was told at the time that she was enthusiastic, capable and committed nurse. In January 2017, he decided that Letby should be allowed to return to the neonatal unit based on two external reviews, which executives felt exonerated her of any wrongdoing. However, these reviews were not set up to investigate whether Letby had harmed the babies, and both concluded that several unexplained deaths required further forensic investigations, which they didn't do. They did not do them. You know what I mean? It wasn't until she was arrested that stuff come out. But she was arrested. She hasn't admitted to anything. There's only been circumstantial evidence, if you know anything about it. And they won't release the names of the victims. Now, you know, I don't remember any case involving kids where they don't release the names of the victims. Now, if you ask me on my opinion, that hospital killed them and Lucy Letby's taking the fall for it instead of all them execs and other people who might have been involved. That's what I think. Obviously, the justice system thinks a bit different, but that's what I think. So it'll be an interesting case to look at, and we'll see more stuff. There's loads of people come out with stuff about it. Oh, we told them. And as an Indian doctor, I was struck off because I said something. That's racism. This is what people are going on about now. And I mean, we all know who Dr. Shola. Let's get her up. Let's get her up. Nasty woman. So here's an article that's I'm putting in the link. This states all the... Yes, Peter. They should, honestly, Gaz, they should be. They should be, honestly. If they've failed, and that's why she came back and she'd done all this, they should be doing life sentences, honestly. But there's never no accountability. Remember, it's National Health Service. We don't hold people accountable like that. They just pick on the little man. And then there'll be an investigation into it all, but nobody will be held accountable. Just like in the robber and rape gangs, when the council resigned, when the Jay's report come out, they just all went into better jobs. Nobody got held accountable. People had lied, covered stuff up, threatened, intimidated people. Violence was there, and none of these people was were held accountable within the Rotherham Council at the time. And that's true. That's stated. You can see that in the Jay's report. I've talked about it before. So how are people going to learn, you know? And I mean, I want people held accountable, me. If you've made a mistake, if you go through the process of retraining them, I've had to do this with people in the workplace. You've made a mistake, and I've had to retrain them so they don't make that mistake again. I'm not talking about killing someone, but there can be other instances. Honestly, guys, I totally agree with you. There's a link to The Guardian about all the individuals to do with the case. Now, would this have happened if the NHS was privatised? I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened. Maybe she might have killed someone, but would she have killed 7 people? No, because they probably would have got onto it and done something where all these other NHS people who are in it don't care about anything except for themselves. The people at the tops of the jobs in Bupa know that they're making money, and it's big money medicine. So they're going to make sure they do things correctly. They're going to make sure they have the right people on. Now, Dr. Shola as Dr. Shola Moss Shog Bam Imu. That's the only time I'm ever going to set a name fully. Nasty Dr. Shola, nasty black woman, Dr. Shola. That's what I'm calling her. And obviously, she's okay to go on GB News and all the news channels and have media. And she's a racist, guys. She's a fucking anti-white racist. And I'm not saying it in lesser words than that. She's a racist black person. The worst of the worst, in my opinion. The worst of the worst. So, she's come out with this about Lucy Letby. It just boils me. It boils me blood, guys. It absolutely boils me blood. Lucy Letby exemplifies how ideology of whiteness keeps Britain in a chokehold. They believed her tears / denials, even though evidence said otherwise, for no other reason than she's white. A black or brownness would have been reported to the police immediately or sacked for suspicion. That's what she's said about the case. And, you know, it's just hard work repeating that paragraph. It really is hard work repeating. So obviously, you know, white people, oh, they get away with everything, white people. Well, just let Big John show you. Let's just let Big John show you. It's really close to home that's coming up now. Really close to home. Really close to home. So this is a tweet I did against hers, and I tagged her in it as well. This guy was not white, and the same kind of failings, even worse. He had done botched ops and still was a doctor. Other people warned about him and did nothing. Dr. Death from Oldham. Black privilege in action, eh? And I've tagged that Shola in them. Let me just get you Dr. Death up. Let me just get you Dr. Death up. Oldham doctor who killed woman in botched procedure, jailed for 3 years. And I'm not even going to, I'm going to try and pronounce his name just one time. One time. Isaiah Mam. Thought to be 85. They don't even know how old he is because he lied. Admitting causing the death of Shady Parveen, 48, in a bone marrow opsy. Now, obviously, it's not children, but let's go through it. Doctor who carried out a botched procedure that led to the death of a woman has been jailed for 3 years. Doctor, whatever his name is, who is believed to be 85, has already been suspended for lying about his age, and colleagues thought that he should be retired after botched similar operations before the fatal incident. He used an incorrect needle on Shahidia Parveen, 48, sounds Indian, and pierced her pericardium, which contains the heart, causing fatal bleeding during a bone marrow procedure on the mother of 3, which is a basic procedure. Parveen had attended Royal Oldham Hospital 3rd of September 2018 to give a bone marrow sample, and it should have been a routine procedure and was watched by the woman's husband. She lost consciousness as soon as the needle was inserted. He had previously been suspended once by a medical watchdog for lying about his age and had been sacked, but then re-employed by Royal Oldham Hospital, where he was involved in a number of incidents before the fatal appointment. So, you know, what the fuck? You know, he's obviously got privilege and he killed somebody. Yes, Craggs. Honestly, she's got a load of things after her name, but you know, I don't know anything about it. Did she get them in England or did she get them in a corrupt African country? You know what I mean? I can't stand that woman. Can't stand her. So, you know, he's Dr. Death, and he'd actually botched procedures. He knew he'd botched procedures, and he's still a doctor until he killed someone. If he didn't kill that woman, he would still be a doctor now. So, obviously, white privilege. Oh, I can't say that because he's a black guy. I can't say white privilege. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Black people say there is no black privilege, but certainly some black privilege for that doctor, Dr. Death from Oldham, Dr. Death. So that Shola's put up all that spiel about Lucy. I've just hammered Dr. Death in all her comments, and wherever I can find articles about her, I put Dr. Death. No one's even mentioned it. She's not come back with, oh, that's it, you can't do that. That's not the same. She's not even said nothing. Obviously, I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? That's why she might have thought, she said she's obviously somebody, a proud black woman who's probably not married. And if she is married, I feel sorry for her husband. That's what I do. In 2015, he carried out 2 bone marrow procedures that caused distress or harm to patients. One patient put in a formal complaint. Despite the patient being assured man will be put on light duties in the future, he went on to carry out another bone marrow procedure in the same year, in which he inserted the needle in the wrong place and left the patient permanently disabled. Wow, honestly. You know who's got privilege here? Lucy Letby or that black guy? I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Yes, Craig, hope you're all right. They do, Gerald. I know, I do believe she's guilty, even though it's some sign that, even though I've said about the court case, right? Because, the notes she made were pretty damning. But the fact that she'd gone on to kill 7, that would have been stopped straight away. That she might have killed 1 kid and not got away with it. They've just not got the right things. One doctor's come on saying they could have saved at least 4 kids' lives, but they didn't because of the unaccountability, holding on to their high-paid jobs. Honestly, it's the bane of it all. Well, I'm having the same problem with Oldham schools, where kids are saying that Ofsted are more bothered about. Kids and parents are saying that the school's more bothered about having a good Ofsted rating than sorting things out. So they let a lot of things go. Schools right now in Oldham are more bothered about you being homophobic than they are about bullying or any kind of so-called racism going on in the schools. And they don't want to upset Ofsted. I have actually got a video coming out that I've been doing with a woman called Dolly on the under 5s, that she used to be an under 5 preschool worker. And she's been kicked off a job, and Ofsted have covered it up, and they're making it look like the school hasn't done anything when they have. They brought procedures and data breaching, but the video's coming out very short. It's coming visiting me tomorrow, and I'm just sick of it. But that Dr Shola woman, what a nasty piece of work. So straight away, I'm not saying that Dr Death is any more serious than Lucy Letby or anything. He killed 1 person, maimed another one, made permanently blind, and caused certain other people. That's bad enough. He's not killed 7 babies, but from 2015 until he was recently got rid of, and let me just check. Let me just check. He was jailed last year, 2022. So even though twice before he'd done something serious, they didn't do nothing, and he was still a doctor. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. You just couldn't make it up. He might have been a good doctor in his youth. I doubt it, because a lot of these doctors, we find have bullshit qualifications when it comes from other countries. Unfortunately, it's one of the things that goes on. And obviously, because he's got jet black skin and African name, ticks the boxes, guys. He must have ticked the boxes if he's still left to kill someone. after he blinded somebody. The box ticking is unbelievable in these people. So unbelievable. Yes, Pat, hope you're all right. Yeah, so, you know, I just can't stand that Dr. Shola woman. She's obviously a race baiter, and, you know, she's a... we hate saying these words, but she's a buzzword herself, and the biggest one going. And you know, so, you know, what's worse? You know, like somebody dying, 7 kids. I don't want anyone to die at the hands of dodgy doctors. I don't. Whether it be babies, whether it be adults, I don't want it. You know, and England, we at one point we had a good health service. We pioneered some of the mega operations that are commonplace now. Our doctors and staff were properly trained. They weren't hired to tick boxes. We didn't have diversity managers on 120 grand a year. We didn't have any of that rubbish. We didn't hire people because they tick boxes. We never did that. We hired people because they did the job. And, you know, why did I can say all this? Why? I've never even had a white doctor in my life. In my 56 years of life, 2 Indians and a Nigerian. I'm not saying they're all bad. My Dr. Buru isn't a bad doctor, knows our family well. And the Indians that we had as doctors are good doctors, you know. And if you look generally, you can look and see that Indians do become good doctors, some Indians, and they are clever in that kind of range. Nigerians also clever in medicine and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean all of them. And especially when we're box ticking, that's when we get the nasty ones that we shouldn't have. And there's plenty of them nasty ones that have been struck off. We can actually look at doctors being struck off by the NHS. See if I can find it. See if we can find it. I have seen an article about doctors being struck off, and unfortunately, most of them were ethnically not English. I'm just trying to find it. And I know I have seen that information somewhere. I'm not making it up. I have definitely seen that information. I've definitely seen that information. So I think it's because of box ticking. That's why we're getting these shit doctors box ticking. But it's unbelievable. The NHS now, Pat's in the chat. Now, me and Pat did a stream a couple of years ago about the NHS and the social welfare system. I was all for that NHS still being national. Now I don't. It's so abused. It's not even there for the right purposes, and I'm more inclined now to privatise it. I know it's bad, sounds bad, but I am more inclined to privatise the National Health Service now, especially after that Lucy Letby. So, Craig, you've seen the same. Yeah, honestly. Oh, yeah, don't start me on Mr. Khan, Tim Pot out where honestly, he's just as bad. But I watched a video today on TikTok. My screen's messing up. I don't know what's up with it. I'll just won't be a sec. Definitely up. He has, Craig. He done 2 videos on Lucy Letby. He talked about an Eastern European woman who killed a load of kids as well, and she was found innocent. It wasn't to do with her. But I'm not saying Lucy Letby's innocent, but certainly some of them deaths could have been avoided, but they've not done it because they don't want to upset the rhetoric or upset the hospital's good record. And that's what it's all about. It's like that in schools. You don't want to upset Ofsted, but I'm going to upset Ofsted. They don't want to upset the hospital's bad record by turning it into a crime scene. Well, these, we have to turn things into a crime scene when kids are getting murdered. And I'd like to know why none of the kids have been named. None of the kids have been named, and that's very unusual. History debunks it. It's the first time in British history that anything like that has gone on where they've not named the kids. So, we've got to look into all this. I don't believe it. My camera's not working. I don't know what's up with it. Weird, this. No, not normally. I don't get normally this kind of grief with me camera and that. I definitely need a new camera anyway. I certainly do. Well, it's not letting me come on with my camera. I don't know why. Definitely something up with it. I'm sure you can hear me all right. Let's go through some of the chats. How many children did Beverly Allock kill? How many children did Beverly Allock kill? 4 murders and also attempted to kill 3 other children. The angel of death. Apparently, she used similar methods to Lucy Letby. Some of them described Letby as a copycat murderer. You know, I just can't fathom it. You know what I mean? I just can't fathom it. But I mean, it's so through this case now, I seriously doubt the integrity of the National Health Service, and I think you're all the same with online with me, because they don't care that the people are the National Health Service isn't there like to make money. They just get funded off this. So why would any of them chief execs care about how it operates and that, as long as they're getting their beef of money? It's just unbelievable. Let me just look at some of the other comments. You're right, Mark. There's plenty making. There's Yasmin Ali Brown. Yeah. Ash Sarkar. Yeah. License to Hate, Pat's put up. It's certainly right, that, isn't it? I know they've tried to say we're anti-black country. It's unbelievable, Pat. Agreed. Pay as you go, NHS. Yeah, Khan is doing great work for us because everyone hates him. Even other Muslims and black people can't stand that person to what he's doing. You know, not only white people have cars and stuff like that. And actually, when I was at the last ULEZ meeting, there was some black people there, but obviously, Khan puts out now, he puts out that ULEZ are all far right so that black people won't join them. There's so many, there's Indians, there's a guy walking around with his detector meter telling you how bad the air is, and he's Indian. I've seen a black guy doing it as well. So it's everybody in London who's affected, you know, and Khan tried to make it out that it's just white people. How racist is that? How biased and anti-white is that? And you know, I'm sick of it, me. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm going on Penny Bunny's stream soon to talk about the party. And I'm going to be very vocal about the anti-white going on in the UK now. You know, I watch TikToks all the time with black people who say the same thing, how anti-white everything is. And it is. Everything is anti-white or anti-British. And they've got to bring us down. And Miss Shola is no different. Let me just... actually, yeah, I want to... What I'll do, I'm gonna, while I'm doing the video, I'm gonna re-copy it and then put it on Sholamu's streams and then put it in some of the, yeah, there it goes. I'll put it there. I'll put it in the next one. See if she does any kind of responding. I tell you honestly, 10 years ago, I would have said some words that just won't be allowed now about that woman. That's what I told you I would have done. I know I would have done. I don't believe she's married. If she's got a fella or a boyfriend, I just feel sorry for him. I don't know if she's got kids. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I feel sorry for her husband. That's it. Because having a woman like that as a missus, she probably hasn't got an husband. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I don't look into these things. I'm just at the moment, I'm just pasting my video to every comment on her page. And she'll either keep letting me do it, say something, or block me. That's the only thing she'll do. And I've been blocked by a few other top dogs for doing the same thing, but I don't slag them off. I don't call them names. I don't tell her that she has to go back at home into the jungle or the trees. I don't talk like that, me. I just talk straight things, and she's anti-white. She's always having a go at white people, which is wrong. She shouldn't be bringing anything to do with white into Lucy Letby's case, considering some of that post I put up about Dr. Death in Oldham And it's wrong. It's wrong. You know, people shouldn't be like that. I don't harass her. I don't tell her that I'm going to look for her family or where she lives and knocking on. I don't do anything like that with anybody. Even the worst trolls against me, I don't do that. You know, I have mentioned her husband because I feel sorry for him. Not going to mention the kids. I just don't know if she's got kids. She might have 10 kids. I haven't got a clue. Don't care or anything like that. But I'm not going to set stuff like that. I don't go on a post and say, right, you should go back to the jungle. I don't talk like that. Nobody talks like that. Especially, I don't say rubbish crap like that, me. I just don't say it. I just speak facts and say it how it is and give you my honest viewing it right. So I've done about 10 of a posts and I put my video on about 10 of a post. So that'll keep people interested. I hope people get back to me about it, but I doubt it. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, Alex? Because right here, she's privileged, living in Britain. She knows she can get on the news. None of this had happened in her country. They'd probably throw her out by the way she is. And would she be so critical of her own country and her own government? No, but she can be critical of white people because it's allowed, isn't it? It's allowed for you to be critical of white people and Christianity. So I'm going on Penny Bunny's stream talking about me party soon, and the anti-white rhetoric is going to be a main thing of it. I was on there the other night. Someone said, "Oh, I've looked at your stream. You want to ban words, ban words." And we don't want to ban any words. What it says in my stream is stop saying racism, misogyny, homophobia, anti-Semitic. These are the 7 deadly sins that we say. We don't say we want to ban them, but a lefty come on and said, you want to ban words? And we don't want to ban anything. But I'll be going on Penny's stream soon. So when it's set up, I'll let you all know. She has 13,000 subscribers and she gets a couple of 100 views at a time. And there's a lot of people in her stream who know me personally. And when I was talking the other night, everyone was agreeing with me. But Lucy Letby, the NHS, and Dr Shola, whatever her name is, that Lucy Letby would never have killed 7 kids if they'd done their jobs properly, the NHS chiefs, who should be held to account, but they're never held to account. Just like schools in Oldham are not held to account because they want to look good to Ofsted. That's what it is, and it's wrong. It's so wrong. Unbelievably wrong. I'm just trying to get me camera on, guys. Just don't know what's up with me. I really can't fathom out what's up with my camera. It doesn't normally give me this sort of grief. It's certainly doing something to me tonight. I'm going to have to invest in a new camera, it looks like. Sorry about that, guys. Camera just won't come on. I can't, would have got to Grenville quicker if people were white, lol. Yeah, well, obviously, when we know in Grenville, Grenville Grenville Tower fraudsters. They were all white except for one person. But sorry, they were all ethnic minorities except for one person who was white in the convictions. Nothing ever said about it. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. But nothing said. But obviously, I can imagine if there was more than one white person, what would have been said. But it's ridiculous the way people are treated and stuff like that. It's just wrong. I will, Alex. When I'm doing the stream with Penny, I'll certainly put links up. We're going to be talking about the party mainly, but I'll put links up. I'll advertise it on my channel. I'll advertise it wherever I can, but we will get a thing up, and it should be a good stream. On Penny's channel. I mean, Penny. Although she don't come on my channel a lot now, she was one of my first mods on my YouTube channel. And she didn't have a channel then. She's made her own channel and brought up her own following. So so that can be said. We'll go back to 2015 with Penny. So but yeah, we'll definitely get onto that. But yeah, say NHS privatising, pay as you go. Dr Shola, talk like that. But I don't mind. Is she going to get her time? But I'll never get her time. GB News will never have me on. When the media do try and interview me, they always try setting me up to make me look a bad person. But like, I'll never get on GB News, but she's been on, and they have all the other race betas on GB News. But like, I will never get on, and I don't particularly race. I'm not racist. Don't race bait anybody. I just tell you honestly how it is, and I'll give you facts. But they obviously don't like my rhetoric, and I can really understand why people have gone off GB News at the hypocrites. It's just unbelievable. I just want to let people know, if you didn't know already, we have a weekly stream on Tuesday, 7 p.m. The PTSD camp's raised over £8,000 for Alfred, the veteran, and it's Remembrance Month in November. And he's coming to the camp, so I'm going to have a few days at the camp around November Remembrance Day. Obviously suited up, because there'll be a walk. We'll be doing something in Bath. Then we're going to be coming back to camp with Alfred. So might be able to get an interview. And we did try to get to his house, but we couldn't. His daughter was busy, and we just couldn't fit it in. Although Joe and Dion really wanted me to come and film him, you know, and get his story out. He's had a couple of interviews here and there, and I know he's been on GB News, but they really wanted me. First thing Joe said, have you brought your camera and all your stuff? I said, certainly have. And we tried to get to see him, but we couldn't do. But 7 p.m. Thursdays, don't watch out for... At 7 p.m. Tuesdays, watch out for our stream. And I'll catch you all soon. But yeah, privatise the NHS. Them NHS bosses, 5 of them, Tony Chambers, Ian Harvey, Alison Kelly, Karen Moore, Stephen Cross, all want convictions for assisted murdering or manslaughter charges, all them people, because they did not follow their procedures, and more children died, and it's just unbelievable, just unbelievable. You can't have intelligence and be on TV, John. Oh, thank you for that, tinfoil. That sounds that's good for me. That, but thank you. But yeah, I'll catch you all up soon. Watch out. If I'll be doing any more streams, random streams. I just wanted to get this off my chest because I'm just sick of what's going on with our NHS. That Dr Shola. Let me just get up. She does have all the things at side of her. New York attorney and solicitor of England and Wales. Yeah, whatever. Sure she is. She's British born, apparently. Nigerian political and women's rights activist. And she probably obviously does coaching, and like she's a feminist. Founder and editor of the Women in Leadership publication. See how well you do with that, girl. But nasty piece of work, nasty piece of work. But there's more nasty pieces of work than her. I will go on. I've got some books actually. Let me just go and get them. Yeah, I've got 2 books here. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Renee Edo-Lodge, another racist, black racist. And David Ossologa, who is a professor of history. And he just tells you, he lies about history, don't tell you everything in his books. And I've read these books, and they're just full of gaps, and he just misses out loads of stuff to try and make it like black people have been here for 2,000 years. He makes it out that like black people are victimized all the time when they're not. And I'll go through. We'll do a stream on these 2 books. I mean, I bought them. That's how much I wanted to learn what the books said and stuff like that. And they're both bullshit books. And that David Ossologa is a professor of history at Manchester University, and he was the one who was baying the mob in Bristol to bring down the Colston statue in Bristol. And he's a professor. I have actually tried to get to one of his talks, but I just couldn't make it. But he will do talks again, and I'll be there. I'll pay for a ticket, and I'll call him out. I'll call him out live. I'll call him out with facts and stuff like that. Any of these people I would do, but you're not going to see them in the normal public because he won't go to the normal public because he'd get egged and thrown at them and names called them and stuff like that. If they did come to like working class towns and stuff like that, but they don't. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll catch you all up soon. Don't forget, we've got a stream next Tuesday. Me, Paul, and Pat, Paul, and me, whichever way it goes. And I just wanted to get off my chest about what I thought about Lucy Letby, the NHS, and that Dr Shola, anti-white black woman, Dr Shola. And I've gone and pasted my stream on a load of her posts I've pasted that stream onto them. So hopefully she might watch a little bit of it, you know what I mean? But like, well, sad state of affairs that's the kind of woman who's listened to on mainstream media. Nobody says anything, hardly. Nobody says anything. But thank you very much, guys. I'll catch up with you all soon. Thank you.